I'm Terry Hutchens with the Indianapolis Star. My colleague Bob Kravitz. We're at the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C., where Indiana's season comes to an end, 61-50 to Syracuse. I'm not sure what you say about that one either. I mean,
ugly.
It was just ugly from the start. They turned the ball over. They couldn't get out of their own way. Dug a deep hole, 18 points. Somehow came back, made it a 6-point game. You had a feeling at that moment like they might be able to turn it around. But boy, Syracuse, quick 6-0 run. It was back up to 12, and I mean, it was pretty much over.
It was, yeah, it was over early. Like you say, they did pull within 6, but they never figured out the 2-3 zone. They just never figured it out. And poor Yogi, he looked like he'd seen a ghost. And the truth of the matter is, Yogi had a goose egg in this game, and he had a goose egg against Temple, and really hadn't done anything since that opening flourish against James Madison. So, look, Yogi Ferrell's going to be a hell of a player for this team for a very long time. But, you know, he's a freshman, and he looked like a freshman tonight. Jordan Hulls did absolutely nothing. He was a liability defensively. I haven't looked at the final box score, but I believe that the guards got outscored something in the area of 38-0.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know, one thing people are going to want to know here, was this the last time we saw Victor Oladipo and Cody Zeller in an Indiana uniform? You know, both of them after the game just said, haven't been thinking about it, you know, we'll think about that later.
I don't buy that.
Well,
I don't buy that. Look, yeah, look, if you're a human being, you're thinking about it. Now, have they been focused on winning tournament games? Absolutely. You know, I mean, I think their mind has been in the right place. But, you know, you're talking about your future, and you've got to give it some thought. I think Victor is as good as gone. Can't blame him. Going to be a lottery pick. He's going to graduate. And Cody, I think, is 75%. You know, that is a total guess on my part. Victor, I feel pretty strongly about. Cody, I feel, I have a hunch, but I'm not sure. What do you think?
You think that what happened here tonight, I don't want to use the word exposed, but I mean, it couldn't have helped their stock.
No, especially Cody.
Right.
I mean, Cody, every time he went to the basket, was overwhelmed by athleticism and shot blocking. You know, when he goes to the basket, he makes himself very small. He has a bad habit of bending over at the waist and turning himself into a 6'4" guy. And I think it showed that he really is a 4. He's miscast as a 5, which is where they have him playing most of the time. So he had a rough game. You know, maybe he feels like there's some unfinished business now. Maybe he comes back and feels like he's got a chance to go with Luke Fisher and play more of the 4. It'll be an interesting couple of weeks.
I think what's really interesting is that the Indiana team we saw play tonight, and the Indiana team you'll see open the season next November, it's going to be completely different. I mean, you'll have Will Sheehy and you'll have Yogi Ferrell, and you know, maybe one of these guys back, who knows. Remy Abel will be a key guy, Jeremy Holloway will be a key guy, and then a bunch of freshmen that you're going to be counting on. But it, you know, I think Indiana fans have really come to, you know, really enjoy this group.
Oh, absolutely.
And now it's over.
And that's the shame of it, I think, ultimately, is that this group did amazing things. They brought Indiana basketball back. They made them a player on the national stage. But for now, all we're thinking about is, boy, they underachieved. You know, they blew it. They had a chance to go to the Final Four. We said all along, it's Final Four a bust. They busted. You know, so that is ultimately a disappointment.
That's it for us from the Verizon Center, where again, Indiana goes down tonight to Syracuse 61-50. The season's over, 29-7.
Sounds right.
And anyway, we'll catch you next time.